welcome back to For the Dads podcast.
Here we are.
We are back in the building.
We are so back.
Fresh off the live episode at Maple Tree Bookshop.
Yeah.
Which I would say was a success.
I thought that was a pretty good.
It was a good time.
Yeah. More dads showed up than I thought.
Yeah.
I walked in and I was like, well, what's the plan if we don't have any dads show up?
That's literally the first question you asked. And I was like, probably just drink coffee and talk like we normally do.
Yeah, that's fine.
Consume a lot of cinnamon rolls.
They were good.
Or cinnamon. What'd you get? Cinnamon?
Cappuccino.
Yeah.
You know,
Whatever.
Meh.
it was all good though.
It was so good.
Let's start off with our wins and losses since we last recorded.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah, when was the...
3 weeks?
Yeah,
I
I'm
feel
trying
like
to
it's
a
like
little bit ago.
2 or 3 weeks ago.
Jeez.
I got to win. Brooks is walking.
Whoa.
Hey,
Homeboy.
my guy.
He's taking steps, not just steps, but he's walking everywhere, trying to run, and then just falls. But he's walking everywhere.
Nice.
Isn't that life? You know what I mean?
We gotta post a video.
You fall,
We need a video.
You get back
Yeah.
up, you know. But yeah, he's...
Did Chumbawamba sing a song about that?
Cue the music. But yeah, he's doing great. Walking around, and we're excited. Yeah.
What was that? What was
He's
that
mobile.
first time, though? Like when he took that and started going, were y'all pretty hype, or was she alone with him, or were you alone, or were y'all all together? Like,
So
what
I
was
think
that like?
he's taken some gradual steps and then just falls. So I was like, is it really walking? And we didn't really kind of consider that his walking stage, but I guess those were his first steps. Then at daycare, we got a video sent to us.
Crap.
Which, if you're at daycare and your kid walks, like, just don't film it and send it. Just like let them,
Let
you
it
know,
be a surprise.
Pretend it didn't happen.
Like,
right?
pretend it didn't
Yes.
happen. And
Yeah.
but anyways, it was cool.
Got a text message.
No, I mean he was, yeah, it was kind of, but came back and then was at the house, and like later that day, I mean he was moving. So,
Cruising.
yeah, I mean within a matter of a couple of days from when he was kind of taking those first few strides, I mean he was full force. So.
Has he bonked
now-
his head yet?
Oh, every second. of the
Yeah.
So
day.
much.
Yeah.
Especially boys, like they just run into everything.
Yeah, he's just reckless.
Logan
So-
was somewhat lucky in that. Is that he had a flat head, like he couldn't turn himself over when he was like in the crib and sleeping, so he had a helmet, his little helmet baby.
Oh, wow.
Dude, so like once he was
Pretty
like
common.
rocking all over the place, he'd be like bonk. He's like,
Yeah.
it's all
He's
good,
got a
Dad.
helmet. Good.
Just
Yeah.
chilling, man.
We might just throw a helmet on him anyway.
I was
so.
like, dude, that thing came in handy so
yeah.
often. I was like,
It's just like a little BMX rider. It's
Clutch.
like, no, he's just walking.
yeah.
all these milestones are cool.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, it's just cool to sit in and it's like, what's next? But you're
Yeah.
trying to just enjoy. All right, he's walking, he's mobile,
Yeah.
What's crazy, like,
and not get past that.
like
so.
you have to hold their head up, like first day.
Yeah.
And then now you're watching them, a year and some change, barely a year.
Just in
taking
the-
steps. It's like,
yeah.
that's crazy.
just the first couple years when they're growing, how they progress is amazing.
That's
it's-
mind blowing.
Yeah,
fast.
it really
Yeah, it's
is.
really
yeah,
fast.
everything's just so quick. It's like they're getting something new every day. Or
Dude, but like imagine
learning
like a
something
dinosaur chasing your whole family.
new. Yeah, that's right.
You'd be like evolutionary. Like, you better start moving, bud. You never know.
You never know,
where
when
it all
T
comes back
Rexes or
to.
zombies come back.
Come back. There
man.
were zombies already?
Oh yeah, I guess they didn't come back.
Yeah,
they
I
would come
mean-
for the first time.
Whatever.
Who
He's
knows?
doing a lot of stuff
We
like
don't
that
know.
though. He's walking. He's already like he's picking up a basketball and balls like and just saying ball, and that's cool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's cool to kind of check those boxes as he's developing. Which
Any
is
losses as a dad?
Nice.
You weren't there for his first steps. You got a text
Yeah,
message.
that's a loss.
Yeah, that's a huge
Yeah.
L.
Yeah, I don't know. Nothing off the top of my head, but there's ups and downs throughout the day for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, before we go any further, I do want to say a big thank you to the Fifth Dad community.
Oh, yeah.
I think you guys showed up big time
Yeah, that was incredible.
for the live podcast, so we thank you for that.
Yeah. That could have went a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
And it went in the right way.
It's funny because, like, I feel like some of our audience maybe doesn't even know that we're a real podcast. Like, I have a friend of mine who just found out that there's actually podcasts out there that he can listen to. He thought we were just doing this for social
Yeah.
media clips. You
Yeah.
know?
We're just making 15-second clips.
Yeah, we just set all of this up so we could look like we have a podcast. But
April
That's the
Fools.
world we live in, though.
Yeah,
It's like,
it kind of
hey,
is.
look.
but honestly, like being out there in the wild just kind of made it feel that much more real, and like having some of the listeners come out and show up was really cool.
Even too, like some of the guys that came, like were calling back to things that we had said, like in previous podcasts, and it's like, wow, we must be saying something.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's
surreal.
good or bad, but
Yeah.
they're listening, which is like, I don't know, it's
And
kind of cool.
I must be doing something right because I was Seth's favorite.
Yeah,
dad.
which is-
Oh, yeah.
So.
Well,
Congrats, by the way.
yeah, it's
I mean,
kudos
you've
to
got
you.
4 kids, but I wanted him to explain that a little bit more, considering some of the things you said on the
Yeah, I feel like we cut
Inconsistencies.
him off. You know.
Yeah.
Well, Seth, if you can
Especially
get back
the
in here and
Walgreens trip.
explain it to
yeah,
us.
considering some of the experiences
leave
you've
behinds
recently
that
had.
we can get him in here and let him go down the list.
Actually,
Yeah.
like what you don't see is there's a whiteboard behind the cameras. So if we need some diagrams, Seth, if you want to draw some stuff out, explain some
great.
things, I think the visuals.
kind of like bracketology, like kind of like, hey, this is how I determine, like, Michael, you're not making it to the next round.
Yeah, right. Yeah. This is, we
why-
need to know the breakdowns.
Yeah, I really need to know why.
No, for me, my win, I guess this past week would be my wife went to New York with like 15 other women for
Sounds like a rager.
Girls trip.
needs
for
explanation.
I think 4 nights.
It sounds like a movie.
3 or 4
Wow.
nights. So I was single dadding it for 4 days, and man, it was so fun. Like people kept asking me, "Are you surviving?" I'm like, "No, I'm thriving."
Hey,
Like,
man,
this is
come on,
awesome.
dude.
4 boys,
Yeah.
1 dad. Holy
Yeah.
cow.
I mean, they have to listen to me. They don't get an option of, going to mom.
I
They're
am your
just-
only option.
They're locked into me. They get to do whatever I say, So no, it was fun though. We did so many fun things, and one of them was going over to Michael's house for a cookout. Let the kids play football, baseball, while me and Michael hit some
Just
golf
hit golf
balls,
balls. We just hit golf
cooked
balls.
some burgers. Like it was
Nice.
awesome.
Yeah, it was cool. I would say too, one of the wins for me, going off of your fatherhood, that was really cool. Right as the sun is going down in Hilton's, Virginia, it's beautiful. Our kids are playing baseball, and we cry out to them. We're like, "Hey, probably should stop throwing baseball. The light's kind of gone. You're gonna hit somebody in the face." Lo and behold, 2 seconds later, Lev's crying because he's gotten hit in the face. And he runs inside, and we go and console him. But unfortunately, you had to go. So, Beckham couldn't.
Well, that's time to go.
I'm like,
Well,
yeah.
boys, get in the
That's
car.
our sign.
Yeah, that's our sign to get out of here.
Good luck.
But what was really cool is I was putting Lev to bed, and my phone started vibrating, and Nick was calling me, and I answered it, and it was Beckham, and he was like, "Hey, is Lev there?" And and him and Lev like talked it out, and Beckham apologized for hitting him in the face with the baseball, and
Hey, bro, my eye's black right now.
yeah, and it was really cool. It's funny because Lev has always like talked to people through FaceTime. So like when Beckham was talking, people that are listening can't see this, but he was like, "Hello," and he was like putting the phone in like random spots, and I was like, "It's right here,
How
dude."
does that thing work?
But it was just cool. Like it was cool. Like the come back around and push your son to apologize to my kid. It really, I think, went miles for Lev because he ran in and wasn't having it, and that was huge for him. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Good job, dads.
good job,
That's true,
dads.
that's true about the FaceTime, though,
That's a
because
team win right there.
Let's go, bro.
because we were on the phone and I called you.
Yeah.
We weren't FaceTiming, and I asked Lev a question, and he was like shaking his head yes or something.
And I was like, "Hey, bro, he can't see you shaking your head. You got to
You
respond.
got
with
to
what-
actually verbally
Yeah.
say
My
yes.
kids do that too. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they're so quiet in the phone, but they'll be like
Like-
very verbal, like nonverbal cues.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's been cool though for in our household because Lev started baseball, new sport. So if you've been listening for a
Oh,
while,
we know.
we know. He's
kids
played baseball. He's playing baseball now, and he loves it. Coaches pitch, and he batted lead off last night and put the ball in the bat every time. He got out once, but he was on the base every other time.
Nice.
Scored some runs. It's just cool because I'm, again, as we said earlier, not a baseball guy.
Just move up next time.
Yeah, just move up.
That's all we
when
ask.
you're pitching to your son. But just making good contact for the youngest kid on his team. So
Yeah.
super excited for the season and what comes from that. Yeah.
Very good stoke.
What about anybody else?
Yeah, good win. I just got to have like some good conversations with my daughter on she's 11, and I think now we're just getting like hormones coming through. We probably talked about some of that sort of stuff, and we've had to just like talk with her. It's like, hey, I know like things can be tough, but like we need some consistency on just being kind and like showing respect, and mostly like to your younger brother. And I think she's really stepped up. We had some good talks, like just to like acknowledge her. Like me and my wife have just like noticed that in her. Like she's been more kind and just been able to, he comes up, he's just, still being 6. I don't know. I guess she can't imagine what life was like 5 years ago. But he's got crazy questions and crazy ideas all the time. And she's just been a little bit more resilient towards his onslaught of everything, so that's been pretty cool. And got to have like some good like conversations to with her around like food and like healthy eating, because like that's my jam. I'm always listening to podcasts and that sort of stuff. And same thing like social media. I was like scrolling through something, I was just telling her, I was like, oh, I saw this cool reel about this dude making this like really good looking like protein dessert yogurt thing with like melted chocolate chips and all that. And she was like, yo, that sounds really good. And so it was cool. Yeah, it was just good. Because I feel like I have a hard time, and I'm like worrisome in my own mind about being too pushy with like, because it's like really important for me personally, and I don't want to go overboard and push it on my kids and make them like freak out about it. So that was like a good balanced moment where I got to like bring it up, and she got to like hear about it and was receptive, and it was just kind of like cool. Like the fact that it laid neutral and maybe positive, big win. So
that's super cool, man.
Pretty cool about that.
No offense to the health kick crew, but like Alyssa's never showed me something on Instagram that's a healthy alternative, and she's made it, and I've been like, yeah. That's a good replacement. Those black bean brownies, I think I'm gonna throw the other ones out.
Oh dude, you bring those over to my house. No. You skirt them right over to me.
I mean, there's some truth to that.
Yeah,
what
I understand.
So I was out today flying the drone around all over Northeast Tennessee, just all over the place, and I was out there in the boonies, and I came across Troyer's Market, and I was like, oh, dude, I've heard about this like awesome farmers market place.
Yep.
Really big. You can get all your like fresh like stuff right from the farm, whether it's like meat, produce, etc. And I got myself a 10-pound bag of oats.
Yeah.
I told Michael and Nick this earlier.
Only Ryan.
And I got like so excited. Because I was just telling my wife, and I was like, dude, I am like, we're low on oats, babe. And I've been really into this.
Seal those
We're
up.
low on oats. Low anymore, my guy.
I've been into like the meal prepped oats in the morning with some like fruit, protein powder, and just like mason jar, good to go.
Yeah, that's good.
And I make my own granola too that I just like, so good. So I go through oats like a horse.
Okay.
And I'm set. I'm excited. They're good looking oats. Like I'm thinking like these probably came fresh out of the field. Could you imagine?
What does a good looking oat look like?
They just have like a more wholesome appearance. Like they're thick, classic rolled oats. They're not the quick oats. Like
not the Quakers, man.
No. See, I think this came from a farm I could like probably ride my bike
glazed.
to. No, it's just, they're ready for it.
Okay.
Low key though, you should actually bring like what you feel like is your best snack.
Yeah.
Alternative snack that's really healthy, good for us.
Oh, I should just try to like fool you. It should be like a "Is it cake?" episode.
Oh, I like that.
Is it healthy or not?
Okay, I'm a big fan of that because
We could do that.
unfortunately I've never had anything good.
So
live on air. We'll do it live on air. It'll be.
Sorry, babe.
So
Alyssa will link up on this.
Yeah. She's big into the black bean
So
brownies.
before we transition into some of the more serious topics, I do have one. I don't even know if we can call it a topic.
Wild
but
card.
I'm going to say 3 words,
oh,
and I'm just going to let you all go for it.
Oh, wow.
Ryan probably won't have anything to say about this.
Huh?
So really, this is to you two.
Cheers.
It's a challenge for Ryan.
I've been getting hit with, for some reason, my Instagram algorithm is hitting me with a lot of this topic right now.
Well, I am on the edge of my seat.
Is it lawn care?
Jordan or LeBron?
Oh, my gosh.
Oh no!
I'm gonna let you all talk because
oh no!
I have a hope of what you will say,
Oh no!
but I'm afraid you're going to go the opposite direction. So let's just hear it.
Go ahead.
Give me your best shot.
This is easy.
In my book, it's easy.
Go for it.
In my book, it's easy.
Go for it.
I would say.
Oh, brother.
Wait,
The fact that you're even.
Wait. I think, personally, that Michael Jordan is the GOAT.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. Woo.
Yeah,
Thank
whoa.
you.
I was really,
You
and
made
I
me work.
think potentially if Michael Jordan had the body physical science that LeBron James has at his fingertips nowadays, we would continue like the stats that he has would
Yeah.
never be touched. I will say, and two, like LeBron, Michael, the teams that they've been on, like everybody's always like, oh, like Michael played against a bunch of wash up, like whatever's, these no name people. Like, of course he won the national or the championship, and I'm just like, yeah, but the people he was playing with he took these cats to, the championship. So much mad respect for LeBron and what he's done in the different teams that he's been on, and
The longevity of his career is unlike anything I've
and
ever
I think
seen
it's
before.
because like of the science
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
come
Oh, yeah.
through technology to
I
be able
mean,
to.
he spends about $1 million.
Freaking oats.
What is
would
it?
argue-
$1 million
I
a
would
year
argue,
on his body?
I would argue
right?
that he is one of, if not the best athlete
Yes,
in
all
the
around
world.
athlete.
maybe of all time.
Maybe of all
Yes,
time.
absolutely.
It's hard.
But that does
yeah.
not make him the best basketball player of
Yes.
all time.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would agree with that.
I think.
And that's honestly, that's credited not just genetics. Like he has taken all these steps and paid a lot of money to take care of his body the way that he has and extended his career. And for me, it comes down to Jordan has done more with 12 years than LeBron has done
Facts.
with 24.
Facts.
Or 20, what is it now? 22?
Yeah, I mean, LeBron's points. I mean, they're not going to ever get touched. Some of
Yeah.
those stats, but Jordan's the best.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to give it to him, hands down. But like, I think too, you look at Jordan and how he won, and then how he played the game, his skill set, and then his mentality, like, and how he won, how he elevated everybody else around him.
It's different.
He is different. His mentality is different. His approach to everything, and then that mentality of a elite athlete that a very small percentage, even at the professional level, have. And then you look at it. It's like you put Tiger there. I think like with the mentality, Kobe, 100%
Kobe's
Kobe.
maybe
People
the
sleep on
closest
Kobe.
thing to that
Kobe's-
mentality than Jordan or like you said, Tiger.
Well, any
is
other
probably-
athlete, yeah. But you look at all these other elite athletes and Gretzky. When he played, I mean, their mindset was just different, and how they
Tom
saw
Brady.
the game. Tom Brady.
For the longest
They all
time, I would
have-
not admit that Tom Brady was the
Oh,
GOAT
God,
until
stand
Tom
him.
Brady's
until I
unbelievable.
came to like reality.
Yeah, he's unbelievable
yeah.
with his his approach to it and his mentality. Like, you're just not going to beat him.
Yeah.
I
So
will
I
say,
think it all goes back to that, and Jordan's number one for all of that.
and
in
I
my
will
opinion.
say, credit to James. I do think he has a lot of the old school mentality, like,
Sure.
but in the new age basketball. I don't know if anybody around now will be able to touch what he's done in this generation, because they don't have that like Michael, Kobe, LeBron mentality. It's kind of just like, it's very like focused on like, I don't know. It's my personal opinion. So I feel like what I would give to LeBron is he does have some of that old kind of 90s basketball, the Jordans, the Kobe's like killer mentality kind of leaked into him to where he came out of high school like doing well.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen that from like big stars that are coming out.
No, we'll
the
never see
NCAA.
anybody else like
Yeah.
LeBron.
Anthony Edwards to
ever
me
again.
is one of like the other, from a mentality standpoint, not necessarily from a winning standpoint, but like he's got something different in his brain.
Yeah.
That's like, this dude means business. But
Yeah.
anyways,
We can have a whole. We could probably have a
that's-
whole
yeah.
episode,
that's a
but
whole,
that's why I like it.
that's a whole other subsection of the podcast.
Please-
I just wanted to really get
So
the attention
please
of our
com-
listeners.
No,
you know?
please comment.
Messi or Ronaldo? No, I was
Oh,
kidding.
stop. No. But comment.
Y'all don't even know,
Or
bro. Y'all don't even know.
message us
Tiger or Phil.
what you think, or if you have any discrepancy, or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
That's
That's
where-
good.
yeah.
Okay.
Do that.
Great.
You guys
Well,
feel
thanks,
better?
those guys.
Did you
Yeah.
feel better? Did it all get out of your system?
Yeah. No, I'm glad these two share the same.
Yeah.
And we grew up
It's
watching
just
LeBron.
common- it's common
we grew up
I mean,
sense
we
to
grew
me.
up
LeBron.
watching LeBron.
Yeah, I've never seen a Jordan game. I've watched highlights, you know, but to know what he did and to hear the stories and to see, like, it's
His
just
documentary is
different.
really good,
It's so
too.
different.
Yeah, his
That
documentary.
pissed
The
me off.
mentality.
I took that personally.
And I took that
Yeah.
personally.
All right. Can we bring
reel
up?
it back in.
so-
Well,
yeah.
no. I have another off topic.
Oh,
Okay.
bring it.
Okay.
Nick, how long is that going to be on your face?
Wow.
Wow.
What?
Has anybody noticed?
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody knows.
Yeah, everybody
You know
knows.
what?
And
Well,
As-
explain it in your best words to those that might just listen to the podcast.
Okay, so imagine you are outside. It's dark. You're probably a little
prepared a
bit
monologue.
afraid. But
bit afraid.
but- hey, this is going to be better than you think. But rest assured, there is something out there that can bring comfort and warmth to you. It's Nick's upper lip. It
I don't even know how to take that.
Here's
it
the,
is perfectly
Yeah, that's a
filled
good way
in.
to paint
It's
the picture.
It is thin enough for the summer, but thick enough for full coverage.
Yeah.
Followed by a well-shaven face, but accompanied by a equally well-groomed
Chin strap.
chin strap.
So we got the chin
Yeah.
strap, right?
It's not a goatee because it doesn't connect. We've
Right. It
determined
doesn't
that.
Okay.
connect. So it's
Good
a
point.
chin strap and a mustache.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have the chin. I have the
Flavor
bottom
saver.
lip. Flavors.
It's just a little something extra.
So for the listeners, if you saw Nick without kids, you'd be really scared. But if you saw him with kids, you'd be like, okay, it's okay.
He's just a guy.
He's a guy.
No, it's
Okay.
great. I was a little I had a hard time looking him in the eye Monday just because it was such a change to the face, but it's growing, you know.
Honestly,
It takes
I
a
think
minute.
you could rock one.
I don't know.
For real.
Can I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's kind of a
I have like a
been an
patchwork
in
going on
thing.
the side of my face anyways.
No, but
might
like
as well
you've got a
just-
solid chin
Yeah, I
strap
can
and
do
you've
the
got a solid
chin.
mustache. So
Yeah.
like you just
Do you know want to know what I did? My first venture into beardom was I was
We could just have that whiteboard full. If that whiteboard was full of just sayings that Ryan has said on this podcast that should be coined.
Daddy-o.
Beep daddy-o.
Beardum.
Beardum.
What's another one?
So, anyways, I was living in Wisconsin, and men in Wisconsin have great beards.
Because it's freezing
And
all the time.
and, yeah, and I was like rural central Wisconsin. So by this time, I was like 25. You know, I maybe just had enough facial hair to like finally come in to where I was like, I can do this, and I don't look nearly enough my age, so I need some facial hair. But for some reason, I was put off by the mustache aspect, so I went with like the Amish beard, like a low hanger.
Wow.
Just full across the chin, and I rocked that for a minute. And I don't know why. Like looking back at pictures are pretty funny. And eventually, I came to my senses and completed the full
Okay,
circle.
yeah, good. Yeah, because
you probably got a wife, and
I
then
think-
she was like,
I think
I
what's
don't like looking
throwing
at that
people
every day.
off is that I've never
Yeah.
kept the mustache. Like I either have
Right.
just a chin strap,
Yep.
Yeah, when I
or
met
I
you, you
have
had
the
the
full
chin
beard,
strap.
or I have nothing.
Yeah.
That's like the three.
But he also made this
stages.
decision when his wife was in New York, which I think is critical information to this process.
Why is that critical?
Because you text, I have the text message to prove it.
Because she couldn't say anything about
she
it.
couldn't say,
That's
she
true.
couldn't tell you no. And you texted her, and you texted us a picture of a selfie, which I really
Great
liked.
selfie.
Kayla said immediately no.
If I would have came out of the bathroom post shave with this, she would have made me shave it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Been
She was in
turned
New
around.
York.
You're right. You're onto something.
Yeah.
She was in New York. She couldn't physically force me to shave it.
Dads
so I
act
just,
wild.
And
When the wives
I
do
knew,
the same.
and
Yeah.
plus I knew it would grow on her. She needed time
Okay.
to
Yeah.
absorb it. You know
right.
what I mean?
I'd love to
And
hear
now-
like the week after.
She's starting to like it.
Okay.
She told
She's
me that
telling
today.
you that she likes it.
I love you.
She's
We'll
starting
see.
to like it. So
Cool. Cool.
All right.
Keep it up.
anyway,
I said Q crossfade
yeah.
in the text.
Moving on.
Noah said, "There's levels to this, homie. I like the stash." Ron said, "Keep it as a gift for her arrival."
Yeah.
And then
you
you
did.
said, "I really need real opinions, no mercy." And I said, "I like the beard better." But
It's okay.
Ryan will always
here.
tell me the truth, or Michael will always tell me the truth, no matter what. So I appreciate that about him.
Yeah, good job, Mike.
I told you the truth.
Yeah, you
Jeez,
did.
I like the stats. Not kidding. I don't. It's okay.
Moving on.
Yeah, okay,
Ryan,
getting
Ryan
into the
had
bulk
some,
of it.
some questions or topics he wanted to bring up.
So currently going on in my life is just a lot of unforeseen change, things that aren't always good. Just to list a few, like my daughter's been dealing with back problems. She's really into tumbling, and she's like hurt her back, so she can't go to tumbling. That's been a bummer for her. Then she's looking for like guidance on what to do. How long does this take? Do I need to go to the doctor? Like all these questions, right? That I have to like help guide her in. My wife, like this just happened this last week. She was lifting heavy and doing back squats. She's a beast, and she like hurt her back. And she's had like little minor like strains and stuff, but this was like, she was like, her spine hurts, her like lower spine. And that it was accompanied with some like nerve pain, like some like tingling and sciatica like stuff going down her leg. And I was like, ugh, like, okay, that one is bad. And just like talking to her, the amount of pain she's been in. So she went to the doctor and just had initial x-ray, much more to find out, but she has some like degenerative disc disease. So she's got an old granny back actually on like the top part of her spine. So that could be like life-changing in the things that she wants to do in the way that she wants to pursue her life, much in the same way that I just had hip surgery and all that stuff is changing for me. And then my AC unit goes out and it's like the hottest days of the year so far. And the first guy that comes in says you're gonna be spending 10 grand on a new one. And I was like, cool. So all this is happening in like a week.
Chaos.
So there's a lot happening, right? There's some pretty troubled waters to try to navigate and stay steady. And so I guess I'm looking for thoughts, and I'll chime in too on just like, how do you navigate? What makes what are some tactics or things that make it feel better for you, maybe better for your spouse, for your kids, because there's kind of two different levels on dealing with your wife and then dealing with kids, and how do you help guide them towards reassurance or just a strong path forward.
True.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's so cool that you brought that up. I'm just trying to run through my head.
Yeah. One, that sucks. So
Yeah.
sorry
Yeah.
that you're going through.
It's all, you know what?
It's like life comes in waves,
It
right?
does, yeah, we
And
keep
it feels
saying
like
that.
you're
And then when it
getting
rains,
hit
it
by one of
pours,
those
right?
big waves.
Yeah,
right now.
when
Yeah.
it rains, it pours, right, Ryan?
Yep, exactly. And it's not the first time, but like it literally does. Life feels like waves, and just you get hit with one, and you're like, cool, man, I'm good. You're coasting for a
You
while.
take
It's
it.
all
One
good.
thing we've had some things kind of come up just like with vehicles, like, and
Yeah.
part of it's my fault. My wife's vehicle twice were my fault. Anyways, we had like bumped her vehicle on somebody else's tire in a parking lot. That happened.
We or you did that?
I did.
Okay. You
It's like a
changed.
we
You
statement.
changed the.
It's like $3,000 worth of damage. Thank God for insurance.
It's a heck of a bump.
Came back. We had a nail in her tire. Had to go get that done, which is like all just. It's not the end of the world, but it's just like
Yeah. No,
and then it just drives you nuts. And
Yeah.
then I ended up borrowing her car again and bumped something else.
Hold on.
And no, yeah. So I feel you. The hardest part was me trying to tell her all that stuff. But
yeah.
what we are going
Yeah.
through.
Hey, babe.
So in this process is I've learned there's nobody else I'd rather do this with, regardless of how painful
Yeah.
or
Wow. Yeah, that's a good.
it
Word.
might seem, but it's like you're my person and we're going to get through this no matter what. Money's money and it comes and goes,
Yep.
whatever. But like, I want to do this with you, regardless of how bad it gets or whatever we got to spend or
How many things
whatever.
you bump into? Yeah.
How many things you bump into that
Really
aren't
thankful
yours?
she's staying with you.
But I think I always like, we just had to regroup, settle in, and like, hey, we're going to go through this. And ours obviously isn't like physical because we're fine, but like just the hiccups or whatever it is, hey, we're going through it together.
Yeah.
And I think that means the most because then you can really lean on each other and you're just going through that together. That's kind of my first reaction.
Yeah. No, it's
of
solid.
when that happened.
Yeah, I think back to maybe like, I want to say like 4 years ago, I went through a similar, just one of those waves of life, like we were talking about. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it just seemed like one thing after the other, you know, and it feels like the whole weight of the world is kind of coming down on your shoulders. And for some reason, the thought came through my mind of like, what is the worst case scenario?
Mm-hmm.
The worst case scenario is, you know, I'm thrown out on the street with nothing. But what do I still have on the street? I have my family, I have my kids, I have my wife. I'm like, that's the worst case scenario. But I would still be happy if I had them, you know? Like, it just comes back to, like, everything feels so, like, negative and heavy.
Right.
But at least I know, worst case, like, I still have those people, you know?
Yeah. And I think, too, like, we're all pretty privileged. I've been down that same kind of road, and it's like, even then, like, I'm not going to be on the street.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I know, like, Nick, like, anybody would take me in, you know, my family.
Absolutely.
Just like, we can be on the floor, we can be on a couch, like, it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's all kind of permeable. Like, it can come and go. And, but having community and having people around you is a solid, like, reminder to get you through those tough times.
Yeah, it just puts those things in perspective of the big picture, right? What is important.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, anytime I'm a catastrophe thinker, so any
Prepper.
situation that could potentially happen, I've already thought. Like, I'm
Do you
thinking
need
through it.
10 pounds of oats just in case?
I don't actually, but that's a
didn't-
really good idea.
Why didn't you think through that time that we weren't recording on the podcast?
Yeah, my bad. But when it comes to my family, if I'm not careful, I will try to run out ahead and try to fix every situation that I think I could possibly fix, which will actually in turn bulldoze my family, bulldoze my wife, what she thinks, how she's feeling about the situation. Like, because in that acting out, I think I know what's right. I think I know what's the best option. Like, for example, again, totally different situation, but like, we're still living with her parents, which I love. Like, it's been great. But there's a stress where it feels like a pressure. Like, the longer it happens, it's like, wait, okay, I need to be like I gotta get a house. I need to do this. I need to buy a house. I need to buy a house. But I think the one thing that I would tell you, or I'd tell anybody that kind of struggles through this, is you kind of have to get back to the basics. Classic Kobe line. Just wrapping it back around, is get back to the basics of, and what I mean by that is that me and my wife have luckily sat down before and been like, what is the vision for us as a family? What is the ethos? What is the like core of who we are at the Hawk's Nest? Like, what is that? And all these things that come around, whatever, to try to deteriorate that or to try to push that forward. That's how we make decisions, and that's how we put like, we look through that lens in order to see. So if a new job offer comes up, wow, it pays more.
Yep.
Oh, wow, it does this. Oh, wow, it does this. It does this. Does it align with the target that we've set for my family? No. Okay, then I'm not going to take it. Even though it's better money, better this, better that. With this house situation, what we could do right now, literally right now, Alyssa could have this baby, which is coming really quickly. She could have this baby. She could immediately put it into daycare, which is great, and then go get a full-time job, and we could build up enough money to buy a house. The lens, though, that we as a family have established is I really care, and she really cares and feels like it's a calling on her life to be at home with her kids. And so I'm like, okay, so I'll say no to that thing for a longer period of time so that I can say yes to the thing that I really care about now. Mm-hmm. And it's like, that sucks, but that's like the sacrifice I think I'm willing to take so that my kids have that, what we feel like is valuable.
Yeah.
And so I think like when those really bad things, like that's a lot of stuff, kind of comes up, me and Alyssa, we have that moment where it's kind of like, oh crap, like we gotta, kind of like disaster control. We're just kind of like trying to figure it out, but we really have to come back together and be like, okay, who are we? What are we here for? What's our purpose? And then view the things that we have through that. What needs to change because your back's going out? Like what needs to this?
Yeah.
Because, like what needs to this? What needs it? So that, what do we need to do so that our daughter can have tumbling, whatever that may be. So it's easy when those things come to react and be like, I'm gonna hit back. But I think it's like, and maybe that's your personality, but that's not my personality. And I really need to like think through, okay, in discernment, in community with other people.
Yeah.
Hey, Noah, hey, Nick, hey guys, like, what do you think is the best thing to do in this situation? In community, don't do it alone, and try to get back to
Yeah,
that
I
unit.
think I'll wrap up by saying I think we really have been trying to do a lot of that, and it tends to be, I don't know if it's just like a human nature thing. You know, we all want to be connected, and we all have some community that we go to. And so I know, like my wife, besides just Googling, you know, it's like we talked a lot, and I understood and know because I've been in her same shoes. Like she had her day, like when she went to the doctor and got basically bad news, to be like. And she told me out loud too. She's like, I'm going to have my crappy day. This is my crappy day. I'm going to vent about it. And tomorrow, like I'll get back on a more like aligned path where I want to be and start working on things. And so like today, because she asked the doctor, what are some exercises or movements, stretches, et cetera, that I can do to help my situation? It was like, you know, she needs to be in control. And I think a good doctor should help put you in control of your life. So today she got to do that, you know? And so like we had plenty of talks, and for me a big thing is trying to just gain information. So like learning and understanding are really big for me. That's like why I got into all the granola healthy everything sort of stuff to begin with, was just to solve my own problems, like selfishly. So now I'm all about it. So today I was on the road a bunch, so I'm just Googling podcasts on this that I can listen to get some information so that I can give that to her and be like, hey, like, you know, the doctor may tell you that things are kind of in despair, but like the rest of the world says that there are things that you can do, and like you can be led to action. And that, like, don't get me wrong, like I told her up front, because after just going through my hip thing, and I was like, this is like your pivotal moment. Like this will change your life. Like you do have to, you know, kind of swallow a hard pill and temporarily say goodbye to some things. But with that, like there's gonna be new doors that will open up. And like we just love being active and like working out together, and I was like, that's not going to change. Like we're still you can still be active, you can still go do things. It's just how you do them, and maybe when you do them, and what you do, like all that changes. But like I think people are flexible. Like she can be flexible. You know what I mean?
That's so
That
cool.
kind of goes back to like what you were talking about earlier today when we were talking is, you know, you had the one guy come in and say you need to spend 10 grand on this
The AC
this
unit.
new unit.
Yeah.
But then you had somebody
a
else
homie
come
that was like,
in today
bro,
and
I can
like,
change a motor.
yeah,
It's straight.
bro, this is this is nothing.
Yeah.
Second opinions, whatever.
Exactly.
Do
So,
your
I mean,
due
due
diligence.
yeah,
diligence.
it's a lot. Same thing for your body. Get a second opinion. For my AC unit, I was like, okay, have one guy come out. I called 7 or 8 places. Whoever could be there first, I was like, all right, let's go. So they came on a Sunday.
Nice.
Which was awesome, just to get like a diagnosis. And yeah, we got that. And then they were kind of like, well, like you might be able to just replace this part. But obviously they were just a bigger company. They were like, it's an old unit. Like you should probably just get a new one. And it's very easy to rationalize. Yeah, it's old. I need new. But then the guy who's been servicing these for 30 plus years is kind of like, yeah, it's old, but you can get a new motor. Like it's got a 1-year warranty on it. It'll keep going. And like this thing, it's
gonna cool your
it'll
house.
do your job. Yeah. And having a new one, it's going to be way better than, because that thing was dirty and all messed up. Like it's just going to be better. It'll just work better too. So
Yeah, so you're going back to it's because you can sit there and be like, oh, well, we have each other, but you're getting a plan together. You're
Yeah,
executing
absolutely.
the plan.
Yeah.
And that's what it comes down to, right?
Yep. And then like we reached
'cause
out
you
to
can sit
community.
in it.
Yep.
You can sit in it, you know, just be
Yeah.
like, oh, well, at least we have each other. And it's like, well, we still have
Yes,
each other,
and.
but we need to get out of this and we need to move forward. We need to progress.
Yeah.
Here's the plan. Let's execute it. And then
Same thing.
move our pieces along the way.
It's happening with my daughter too. Like she went to the chiropractor, she got an x-ray done, she's gonna get a follow-up. Like I think there's just anything that you can do to give yourself and your loved ones some agency and to let them know that like things can move forward is gonna really just pay out.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's good.
Yeah.
So one other thing that I just thought of it right now. I don't know why, but the next topic I want to kind of go into is the weight of finances.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
And sorry to get like deep on you
That's
guys,
good.
but like I feel like as men, in general, as men,
Yeah.
like we carry a heavier burden sometimes than the women, because a lot of times the men are in charge of the finances and like kind of carry that through. Is that the case for you all? Like what?
Not really.
Yeah.
No, like me and Megan make almost the same. Like we're like our 1 or 2% difference as far as like pay
Nice.
goes. Teachers get paid pretty well out here.
And to be clear, I'm not talking about like salaries amounts.
Yeah.
I'm talking more about like who actually.
Oh yeah, and then even more so for
manages or,
that,
like-
she the money lady.
Okay.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Let me tell you, my life obviously changed a lot when my mom passed away. One of the things was like, what do I care about money?
Well, so maybe I'm totally
know, it's
wrong
like-
in the assumption that most men do this because maybe it's just me.
Maybe,
But
yeah, I think it could be too like a potential like cultural like in this place like that's maybe been the case in the past. I would say for us it's moved kind of differently to where it's more of a partnership of like, hey, this is how much, what do we want to do, how do we make like the best business, the best family decisions with the finances and the assets that we have, and two, actually being a part of FCA, which is a very like donor philanthropy, like we're actually getting studies that it's now shifting that the women are actually making more in a nuclear family. The women are actually making the most decisions when it comes to money nowadays. I think that was the case, but I think it's definitely taken a shift towards. But anyways, back to what you were saying about the weight of it.
Just the weight of it
Yeah.
in a sense of you feel like,
Like-
as a man
Well,
that
like-
providing-
well, so to be clear,
provide
what I'm talking
and-
about is like making decisions or like thinking through what the future
Yeah.
looks like for our family, for our kids when they go to college, get braces, like
yeah.
all those decisions feel really heavy to me.
Yeah.
And
Are you doing it yourself?
no, but it does feel like more of a like 70-30 kind of thing.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would say it's probably I'd say 70-30. Yeah, for me, just because too, I'm the one that like is working. She's working.
Right.
She doesn't get paid enough. to stay
yeah.
home.
Yeah, and that's why.
But what she does is priceless.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, what she does
Yeah.
is more
But
than,
because it is majority coming through my paycheck,
because we
I
are
make-
the ones
the
making
budget
the
and
majority of the money.
Yeah.
It kind of by default falls on us
Mm-hmm.
to. It was never discussed between me and Kay. Like, hey, I'm controlling this. Like, this is
yeah.
Yeah.
It just
This is my thing, that's
this
your
is
thing.
just what naturally happened,
Gotcha.
right?
Okay.
Yep.
I think
I get that.
one thing Taylor and I do that relieves a lot of stress financially because I come from a household where I think money was stressful, and a lot of my parents got divorced. I think a lot of their arguments were about money,
Same.
which is it's tough, and I think a lot of your conversations and disagreements come with that. I think in our household, and we don't do it perfect or our way necessarily isn't the right way. One thing that's relieved a lot of stress though is Taylor and I do it together. So we have a budget, we have a zero-based budget, and we kind of look at the end goal of where we want things, and then we work backwards. So it's like, what do we want our life to look like? How do we get there? This is what we have. This is what we've been blessed with. How can we be good stewards of this? And then how do we do this together? Because just personally, her money is not separate from mine. We don't have separate bank accounts or anything like that. Everything is ours. What she makes is mine. What I make is hers. It's ours. And that's not everybody.
Yeah.
And that's okay because it's different for everybody's household. But one thing that's really helped us is a zero-based budget. So we see where every dollar is going, basically. And we have categories listed out, whether you want to do it in a spreadsheet, an app, whatever. And that really helps us. We take X amount of money, and because it's not our money, that like I feel like we've been blessed by God with money that we make. And this is just my own opinions. I'm not trying to push this on anybody, but we give X amount off the top, regardless of what we do. We do that, which relieves a lot of stress because we want to be generous with it. And then we kind of look at our goals, what we have in place, and we just do it together. And we walk through it. We look at the end of the month, and we budget for the next month. We take a checkpoint halfway through the month. okay, where have we allocated money? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, good. We're on track. We need to gear back here. We need to, we've got wiggle room here. And there's things that come up, right? And life happens. But then we check it
You
at the
bump
end.
into
But then we
poor
check.
cars.
We bump into poor cars.
It
But
seems
then
like life happens
but then,
a lot.
But then we look back
for
at
me.
the end of the month. We look back at the end of the month and go,
Yeah.
okay, where were we good stewards with our money? Where were we not?
Yeah.
Okay, let's regroup. Let's try to be better the next month. And I think it's baby steps that come along the way. But I felt a sense of peace just doing it together.
Yeah.
Helps so much because we're not hiding anything. We're not hiding anything. And we're not pointing the finger like, you went out.
Bumped in
and-
cars.
Or
Whoops.
you spent a bunch of money on Amazon
Well,
and we got
I-
a bunch of packages.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
I think
so
that's
it's
where
like,
the disconnect is for me, is that me and Kayla have always had joint bank accounts. Like, we joined our bank accounts probably within a year of us dating. Like, before we were married,
Oh,
we
dang.
had joint
Nice.
bank
Dang.
accounts. So same like you, my money is your money is my money, same thing. But I think maybe the disconnect is like, we don't necessarily have as good of a plan put together, and we're not like we work as a team on it, but we're also not like as scripted and detailed as maybe is
Yeah.
what you're describing.
I feel you
So
there,
maybe
Nick.
that's like, it's just kind of like we're flying by the seat
Okay,
of our
okay,
pants and
like-
hoping for the best.
Him and so I've learned a lot from them because
Yeah.
and I think this is where community comes in, is like me and him have literally met offline, and I'm like, hey, like, this is how much I make. These are the goals that we feel like are good. Like, we don't even know. Like, we think these are good goals. Like, and me and him have kind of like worked through that along with another guy. And so I think too, one of the things that has really helped me and Alyssa is we have like monthly marriage dates. Literally, kind of, I guess, what the same thing here is. It's like, hey, what are some wins?
check-ins,
Like,
yeah.
literally what we do on a podcast. What are some wins? What are some losses? What are things that we really need to remember that happened this past month that we like want to like put in our bank, like in our brain? What are some things that we really need to plan for this month? You know, Lev and Noah are going to the dentist on the same day, like all that kind of stuff. And then too, like working through like, hey, how are we doing on, you know, saving up for a down payment? It's like, okay, well, we're right here. And again, going back to what you originally brought up, the weight of that is because I am the only one with the job. I'm like, man, I feel like I could be doing more. I feel like I could be doing this, or I feel like I could be doing this. And I feel a lot of dad guilt because literally I drove through literally this morning. This literally happened. So maybe this will help a dad. I was driving on the River Road in Hilton's, and there was this beautiful house for sale, and I'd never seen it for sale. And I was like, it's in Hilton's on the river.
That's it.
On the river.
That's the
And-
one.
And I went home, looked it up, and it said in contract, and it was like $500,000. Yeah. I was like, never mind. And again, but I thought it started thinking to myself, I was like, man, am I doing enough? Like, am I doing this? Am I da-da-da? And I da-da-da? And Alyssa reminded me, kind of going back to the thing I had when you were saying, Alyssa reminded me in the car, she said, this is what we're aiming for. This is what you're called to. This is what I'm called to as a husband and as a wife. You could go out and get another job. Like, you could do that. But is that what we're aiming for as a family? She was like, no. And she literally, she like grabbed my arm and she said, I am very happy where I'm at. And I was like, okay. So we're just playing the long game, like the long game to try to save. And it may feel like weight because you see other people like, you know, do other things and you try to compare. And it's like, that's just like the thief of joy.
Yeah, and I think maybe where this is coming from is like, I'm hearing you guys talking, you all have goals. I don't have a goal. To be honest, I'm being honest right
that's
now.
okay.
I don't
Yeah,
have goals.
Dude, that's okay.
I'm trying to survive.
Yeah.
I
I'm
don't
trying
have
to
a
stay
financial
above
goal.
water.
I don't know.
And Kayla's the same. Like,
With
we
you.
are trying to stay above water.
Yep.
Just to be completely transparent.
Sure.
And that's
We are too.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's why I feel so much weight. Is
Yeah.
because like I have 4 kids
Yep.
who need braces. Like Bray just got referred to an orthodontist to get braces. $5,000.
Yeah, that's real
Yeah.
life.
Real life. It just keeps coming in
Yeah.
waves. Like every week it's something. You know.
And that's what I would say too, is like the goals aren't like the silver bullet. Because like we have goals, but things come up.
Well, and then how do you live now?
Yeah.
Right? Like, you've got goals and you're like, oh, we're, you know, maybe this month we're moving the needle and like we're getting traction or whatever and we're saving up or investing here. And then it's like, dang, we just got crushed this month, and then this month, and then
Kicking
you
the
look
teeth
back and
again.
it's like 6 months of just
Getting beat up.
whoa,
Yeah.
we've had a rough year, and then it's
Yeah.
like a couple years, and then it's now you're surviving. So, I think it's just like trying to encourage each other through that, and then there's the balance we talk about. It's like, how can we live now and enjoy life, but also like try to prepare for other things? I don't know the right answer. I think we just need to. We could have a whole episode on this.
Yeah,
I mean,
all I do know is,
really.
and I've not really told many people about this, but I feel like every single time things start to get really hard financially, God puts an opportunity in front of me, whether it's a side project or something I can do to earn money. And I think that's because, and it's happened so many times, and each time it happens, it's like in a way that only God could, or you know what I mean? Like
That's
those times
fair.
where
I
like,
mean,
this
that's
is
fair.
this
Yeah.
is God.
That's what happened to
Come
you.
on. But I
Yeah.
think that's because we have been we have been diligent in giving tithes and like and being faithful in that way. And I think that's where God's always taken care of us
Yeah,
when we
for
needed
sure.
it the
Yeah,
most.
for sure.
You know what I mean?
It's
Yeah,
cool
for
you
sure.
recognize that.
Yeah. Well, I think
Yeah.
and I think too, like for us specifically, like the goals and stuff. That's not like I'm just trying to be a good steward. Like, and so sometimes, like literally, like we have a budget set out for fast food, and some nights it's just really easiest to go to Chick-fil-A.
Convenience, yeah.
But Alyssa will be like, we can't.
Yeah.
Like we can't. Like we said no. Again, vision. Like we said no. That's what we're gonna do because we're saying yes to this. Like we're saying yes to whatever that is and whatever that is for your family. And I think it's just like, one, we need to be like aware that I can't remember the top three, but I'm pretty sure it's like finances, sex, and something else, or like the like things that really either break a marriage or they like help a marriage succeed just in the communication standpoint. So this is a big deal. Like it's a really big deal. So it's like, one, just having the conversation I think is good. It's really healthy. It's like, where are you at? Where am I at? What's art? And just dreaming. Like, and what really helped us is like we took it was like a weekend away, I think. Like it was just like, hey, what do you want to do when you grow up? I guess like,
Yeah.
I know we have kids, but like, what do you want to be when you grow up, and how can I make that come true? Because I literally had a guy tell me one time, was like, when I first married Alyssa, he said like with every ounce of energy, make that girl's dreams come true. Like do whatever you can. There's some nuance to that for sure, but it was like, babe, like what are you dreaming about? Like how can I help you do that? And then she asked me like, what do you want to do? You know, and so we just kind of worked through that together. And again, I think it goes back to what you were saying earlier. Like I wouldn't want to do that with anyone else. Like, just have
Well,
that
and we
kind
can
of stuff.
plan all we want. We can
Yeah.
have this, but and then life happens. So
Yeah.
we talk about, and then your priorities change. They can change real quick.
Yep.
Sickness, whatever comes your way,
Yep.
braces, and you've got to prioritize those things and, you know, attack plan A. All right, plan A working and it works, and you execute it, great. And then you're on to the next thing and plan B. And then if that doesn't work out, well, then now you got to plan C. And you just, some days, years, whatever, and your whole life might look like that. But are you having a plan? Are you doing it together is a big thing. And then, you know, you're working towards, you know, just sometimes survival mode, but you're living life together, which is the beauty in it. Right.
Yeah.
Life is struggle. You
Yeah.
know? It's just
No,
like
it
it's
is.
not like it stops.
And-
Doesn't
Yeah.
matter where you
Yeah.
are.
And
up
it's
or
all
low, or-
perspective, right? It's all perspective depending on, you know, somebody's like, oh, well, it's like, you know, so I lost this and that, and I don't have anything, and I don't have any close relationships anymore. You know, I mean, tragedies happening. So we try to find how we can be grateful with what we do have, and then not compare, because comparisons, it'll steal your joy, and it'll steal any traction or momentum that you have moving forward. But everybody's plan is different.
Yep. That's a good word.
Right? Everybody's plan is different. My financial plan might work for us, and some days it doesn't work for us, but it's ours, and we've got to own it, and we've got to do the best we can of pushing forward. I think we could really have I'd like to really just go to the drawing board.
Yeah.
I mean,
Just-
really,
just
because
turn to
this
the
is a
whiteboard,
lot.
yeah.
Really go to the drawing board, and we could really just have a really good conversation about this too, because it's so overwhelming.
Well,
It's
and the
so
reason I wanted to
overwhelming,
bring
guys.
it up is like, I feel like, well, for me at least, this is a topic that most people don't want to talk about. You know,
it's taboo.
they keep it close. They're guarded about it, and I completely understand that. And I'm the same way. Like, I don't want to talk about finances. I don't want to like share. You know, like it's not comfortable.
Yeah.
It's not a comfortable conversation, especially when you feel like you don't have it all together. But I feel like I'm probably not the only one that feels that way.
Yeah.
Like
I would
don't.
say too, though, that that's not the way it was ever supposed to be. Like
Yeah.
society has put that upon our heads
Right.
to say that we have to. This
Stupid
is my-
Dave Ramsey.
Yeah, Dave.
God.
Wow, we really just called him
No,
out on our
no, you know
podcast.
what's funny?
I
You
love
know
you,
what's
David.
funny is like we get like notifications of things that are like from our bank account
Yeah.
or whatever, and Taylor's like, we're driving in the car. She's like, "What was $22 at Food Line?" She's like putting in the grocery, and I was like, I don't know.
Reggie Miller's.
Yeah, I was like, case of beer maybe. I don't know, but it's just like
It's a beer for the golf course.
it's in the budget. But
We'll move some money around.
yeah, well,
to make it happen. I would say a good practical
tough
step to somebody that maybe like feels like that tension of like, hey, I want to have this conversation with my spouse. Like I think really what it came down to for us, and we're not there yet either. Like we're not at all. But it's like, hey, what are we saying yes to right now that's making us say no to the things that we actually want to do?
that's good.
And what do we need to say no to right now, from whether it's budget or lifestyle? I mean, it could be literally anything. What are we saying? What can we say no to now so that we can say yes to whatever it is, later? Like, I remember like just being real. Like to move from Portland to Southwest Virginia was not cheap. Like that U-Haul bill was ridiculous, and I had help from friends. Like a lot of people pulled in and helped. It was super awesome. But still, we had like $5,000 in credit card debt that we needed to get rid of, and I had been here like 8 or 9 months and just now did it. And of course, I could be like, man, that took me way too long.
Yeah.
But Alyssa was like,
That's amazing.
oh yeah, she's like,
That's super
she's
good.
like shoulder bumping, you know, like,
Yeah.
and it's like, it's all about perspective. It's all about perspective. And two, like, if we can't share that stuff, like, and be open about that stuff, like, I think there's so much freedom in that. Like,
Yeah.
when I literally call Noah and I'm like, dude, like, I'm really struggling. Like, I just need wisdom. And he's like, okay, like, let's go get a burger. Let's go get a beer. Let's sit down. Let's talk through it. He doesn't
keep
know
it
all the
cheap,
answers.
Noah. Cheap burger.
He's like, I don't know all the answers, but like, we're trying, you know, and I feel like that's the point. Like, just try. Like, try to be diligent, try to be a good steward. And two, just have the conversation. Don't make it taboo in your marriage. Just because it's taboo in society doesn't mean it has to be taboo in your house. Like, that's weird. Like, talk about it.
Yeah, there's a lot of things, like weird things that happen in my house that are probably taboo for society. I just like
Like 10-pound bags of oats. Yeah, that's taboo,
Yeah.
bro.
Like, come on, man.
That's crazy.
super normal.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
I know. I don't know. There's a lot of like little weird things. I don't want to go on tangents, but
You can.
like a thing that like bothers me too, and like I don't even know how. It's probably like social media for kids, even like YouTube stuff, and like how they just start to assume like gender roles like so quickly, and like pink is for girls and like blue is for boys, and it's like I like never like force that upon my son, but like my daughter, being a little bit older, will be like, Logan, that's for girls. Like, so like, it's like the dude's wearing like girl Merrills right now. They got some pink on him. Like what? Who cares? It's a
I did
color.
grow up and Justin Bieber was in all purple, and I thought that was fly.
That's what I'm saying. And I was like, be like daring enough to stand out a little. I mean, come on.
You know, it's
That's
so
like the
cool
bigger
coming
thing
from the
for
guy
me.
from the skateboard community, because
Yeah.
like I feel like that is prime time skateboarders. They're like, society's telling me to nah.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Yeah. You told me not to grind this rail. Well, tough for you. I'm grinding it.
I got beef with that.
Yeah.
So true.
good. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Funny.
Can't help it. Counterculture, man. Just like
I just
Thrasher.
I just want to go back like 15 years ago and just be with Ryan as he's skating.
oh bro, good luck keeping up. Be like 8 hours, dude. Just just like a little Caesars in the car, and that's it. Let's
I
go.
would, I would give so
Fueled
much
up.
money to just like go back and live a day.
Probably like
you
a Sobe
That
in
would be
there.
sweet.
during
honestly.
that
like-
during that phase.
Dude, you would have had fun.
Dude, I literally
Getting
wanted to be
cookies
like
and-
the reason I got into videography was because of skateboarding. Like when I would literally sit.
That was him.
Yeah, I never did skateboarding videos, but I was like the vibe. Like it was like I would watch Thrasher videos and be like, "This is amazing!" Like these.
I don't
these
even know what that
clips
is. I've
and
never
oh
heard
my
of
gosh, dude! Like the spots that people would do.
when
And,
the barracks came out. I
oh,
was
dude,
just like,
yeah. Oh. And then, and Nike came in the scene and they started producing like really high quality stuff. And you're like, well,
dude, and I
that's
was like,
kinda-
Ty Evans is who I need to be in my life.
Yeah,
and now it's just like the dude started using a Movi to film skateboarding and red cameras.
baby.
Yeah,
and I
dude.
was just like,
Yeah.
dude,
It
like,
went from
watching
fisheye camcorder to like,
The reason I got into video was Dude Perfect.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
that's a
same
sweet
too.
example
Yeah.
though, too.
Or mine was
We
Jackass.
used to
Yeah,
It's
growing
like, can
up,
we
would-
ride this sled down the stairs?
Yeah.
that was what got me into videography.
Yeah.
so
Huh.
good.
Anyways, is this the end of the podcast?
No.
It should
Oh,
be.
it's not. Oh, okay.
Do you want to go back to your finance thing?
No.
You gonna go get another burrito that wasn't a burrito, it was just a taco?
Dude, I love El Mr. Taco though.
No, hey, okay, now you said their name. I'm not going to complain about it.
Oh,
He said their name. He outed me. I can't.
Done open the can.
Well,
Mine was good.
it was tasty.
Mine was great.
Anyways, let's
Yeah.
not get into this.
All right.
These people need to like go on with their days.
I think I need to go make sure I have an air conditioning. My kids need to have some heat.
He needs to go be a dad. I think we should probably
Okay. Yeah.
wrap it up.
Okay.
I think that's the end.
Thanks,
Hey, Nick.
Thanks, Dads.
Nick, what else did you want to talk about?
No,
Save it for the next one. Put a little cliffhanger.
I'll write it down.
No, just say it in the mic so people come back next time.
Oh yeah,
Little cliffhanger.
they'll be dying to know.
How
Tune
do
in
you
next
get your
week.
kids to stop arguing with each other.
Okay, tune in next time
Mine's,
for the
mine's
dads.
really easy.
Oh.
And I need
only
some
have
help
one.
from the fifth dad community
Yeah.
because I feel like Lev and Noah probably don't argue that much.
Bro.
No, you'd be
I
surprised.
know Ryan can probably maybe give me
Yeah.
some advice, but
I can
four boys
I can
in
sit
the
in
back
it
of
with
a van
you.
together, just
all the
many
way to
hours?
Jacksonville. Yeah, 8 hours in the van.
it's tough. So I need some advice.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
I think it's just giving them something.
Later.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later, but I think it's giving them something good to argue about. Michael or LeBron, guys?
Well, it's just so weird because one second they're like, all just, we're bros, like I love you, and then the next minute they're just aggravating the crap out of each other.
yeah.
You know what we did? I mean, we would
Welcome
argue.
to
We argued
life.
today about the national championship. Just put mics in front of our face, and it becomes a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, just put mics in front of their
Just
face.
bring the pod home.
All right.
All right, Fifth Dads, thank you for tuning in
Big
for
love.
another episode. This is a real podcast. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, all the platforms, YouTube. Go like, follow, subscribe, comment, share.
Tell your kids to check us out.
Tell your kids. Seriously, like, there's so many dads out there.
See if their dads are doing a good job.
They're gonna hold you to a high standard because they're gonna learn all about dad stuff.
Dad, I've been listening to Dad's podcast.
I feel like if
those are the
Bray,
reels.
you
Those are the
imagine?
reels you were showing
I
your
feel
daughter.
like if
You're
Bray
like,
had Spotify,
check out
he
those
would,
reels.
he would definitely be listening.
Dad,
right now.
that's your podcast.
Lev
again.
listened to us the other day.
Yeah,
He was listening to us in the
kind of
car.
scary.
Lev was like, "Dude, Seth said my name."
I like won't let Bray listen because I talk about him so much.
Yeah, I'm nervous for that moment.
Yeah, but anyway,
Love y'all.
love y'all. Thanks again. Peace.